and was walking around telling people that they're not going to like what happens later.
A close encounter with a disturbed man tonight. The big talk in the tiny town of Dorr is the suspect who forced lockdowns and evacuations at a library, a school, and a township hall over the past 2 days. The latest, the investigation at the Dorr Township building today. That scene is now clear. 24-Hour News 8 Steve Kelso has been on this story since it broke yesterday around noon, and tonight he's finding out what happened in the hours before the threats were made. Steve?
Yeah, Brian, for the third time in 24 hours, a building's been evacuated, and in that last 24 hours, Dorr's a small town, and they've been talking. Almost exactly 24 hours after students had been evacuated at Dorr Elementary because of a suspicious person and a suspicious package.
Colonial kitchen.
The suspicious person, now known as a person of interest, is the talk of the town.
First person that popped into my head was him.
He stopped in for a bite to eat around 10:30 yesterday morning at the Colonial Kitchen. His behavior was strange.
Trying to talk to a couple of little girls that were sitting at a table behind him. Kept trying to get them to come over by the table.
And was walking around telling people that they're not going to like what happens later, and yeah, to take care of your children.
He was kind of like a creep.
Nicole Evans says it was about 12:30 when he came into the library to make some copies. At Dorr Library, patrons aren't allowed to use the copier. It's done by staff. But he wouldn't allow any of them to see his confidential documents.
And I started to turn a card over just out of habit, just to take it and head to the copier, and he goes, "Don't look at it."
He was arrested in the library parking lot a short time later. The bomb squad pulled from his car a folder that the two library clerks had described. It's a reasonable assumption tonight the police have read his confidential documents. So, you may be sitting at home saying, "Hey, Kelso, how do I know that that's the same guy?" You'd be wise to ask that. Here's how. Those two library clerks, they actually watched out the window as this man was arrested, and later on, they were talking to the two nice women you saw in that story who worked at the Colonial Kitchen. They said, yeah, he was in here too. But tonight, police are silent about the person who caused all this uproar in Dorr, where we're live. Steve Kelso, 24-Hour News 8.